Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Thursday, November 30th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. This is the last trading day of the month. So you can see here, these are the pivots for the month, the PivotBoss pivots here. And this is going to be the last trading day. And right now, since we're right at the high of the month, right at the last price being the close, these two pivots are still being affected for the upcoming month, as is the center pivot and these others. So there's still a little bit to go, but you can see that generally speaking, we're going to have a higher value month coming up next month, which means any early pullback to begin December could be a great buying opportunity for another round of strength heading into the end of the year. Usually heading into December, you have about 2 good weeks left of volatility, and then the final 2 weeks not much really doing anything. So something to keep that in mind. We will be hosting a monthly market outlook tomorrow after the market close at 3:30 p.m. Central, where I'm going to give a little bit of a December outlook for various markets, talk stocks and other things. So please join if you can. And right now, again, any pullback could still be a great buying opportunity, but despite the tech sell-off in the previous session, ES here basically held at highs and is now digesting recent strength. Again, any failed new low could be an opportunity to get long on a short-term basis. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Techs got hit pretty big in the previous session. There were quite a number of names that were down 5, 6, 7+%. You can see it was a stop run day beyond 4-day lows and a huge day down for the NQ. Today is perhaps a digestion day, and this day right here could be the perfect opportunity for another buy that leads to new highs. So this is what I call the extreme reversal setup. And basically, it's like the rubber band trade, stretching too far in one direction. Digestion is when everyone gets on the bus. The next day or two is when we start to see the squeeze ensue. So this is a great opportunity here to look for another round of strength. We're looking for something like this here, where you had the same setup here, and it led to that type of strength. Or even when you had, a one-day pullback, you still had a bounce back up. So again, while we could see more weakness to take out recent lows, and we would still see bulls defend anywhere into 61.90, right now coming into the trigger zone, overextended day, digestion day, we could see another day of digestion, or we could start to see the squeeze ensue. And if there was a squeeze to come out of this, an upside push would take us between 65.47 and 64.80. So basically 64.80 to 65.50 would be the target zone. And that target would be hit sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks tops, usually in this scenario. So that's going to be a great one to watch. Some names to watch along with it. Facebook looks very similar here, also coming back to key resistance. That one is a great opportunity that could turn into more strength ahead. Another one to watch that's very similar is NVIDIA. That one's also coming back to our previous buy zone in the trading room from 190 to 192. We got back to that zone here yesterday after a major meltdown. So again, this could provide another opportunity to return price back toward 220. All right, let's take a look here at gold futures. Gold continues to just sit around VPOC, but one thing we mentioned here over the last couple of days is any failure at 1300 will likely offer a return back to CVPOC, which is 1280 and a half. It looks like we just shifted up a little bit here, but 1280 and a half. Yesterday I mentioned any break below 1295 would likely spark that continuation. We got as low as 1285s yesterday, and so far today driving even lower. Not quite to 1280 just yet. We got into 1282.30. But the idea, again, in this range, every time we get to a new high, we snap back to value very violently. And we've seen that occur now the last couple of days. We could see a little bit lower. And then I would anticipate that we would see the flow back up again occur. And we take out this high and perhaps get into 1305 or 1306 and perhaps look for another opportunity for a fade. So we'll see how this plays out here, but I think a little bit lower and then perhaps another swing up coming. And lastly, looking at crude oil. The previous session I mentioned that the pullback here and a failed new low could lead to a nice move up, but instead what happened was price broke up first and failed to hold the breakout point and dropped to lows and then failed to hold below here and pushed back up. So yesterday our view changed in the trading room that we may need to see a little bit more pullback here. There's a great LVN at 56. The trigger zone is also in that area. So right now the failure to hold above this recent high suggests that we could see another round of weakness, and again down toward 56 could provide the next opportunity to look for another squeeze towards 60. So that would actually improve the amount of points that you could make out of that. So from 56 to 60 could be a very nice shot here if we get down into that zone and start to show rejection. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Remember, tomorrow after the close at 3:30 p.m. Central, we're going to be hosting a monthly market outlook, free to join for anybody and everybody. And so I'll be putting out a tweet, but it's basically join.me/PivotBoss. That'll get you into the meeting. All right, everyone, talk to you soon.